Most people think they're self-aware, but only about 10 to 15% really are. Now, a strong lack of self-awareness directly hinders your chances of success, but focusing on developing your self-awareness does just the opposite. Without self-awareness, people don't understand how their decisions affect their lives, and cut your chances of success in half. We're going to look at 8 ways to become more self-aware in this video. Let's get started. Number 1. Know your strengths. Have you ever wondered why each human being is unique despite there being over 7 billion of us scattered around the world? You're unique, probably 1,000 times. Why is this so important? Well, because it gives you a sense of who you are. Everyone's defined by their strengths, and recognizing them is a great way to become more self-aware. To achieve your goals, you need to know your strengths, but you also need to make a conscious effort to improve them, which will only help you push yourself further. And on a similar note, number 2, know your weaknesses. Your weaknesses shouldn't play a big role in your self-awareness journey, but you should recognize them. Knowing your weaknesses can help you assess your skills and development areas since they reflect your limits. Don't forget that your weaknesses don't define who you are, they just make you aware of them. With this knowledge, you'll know when to ask for help and when to go it alone. Number 3, be curious about yourself. Isn't it weird that we all go through life believing we know everything about ourselves? Despite the fact that there are over 7 billion of us, we don't really know everything about ourselves. You have to become genuinely curious about yourself if you want to become self-aware. You have to take the time to understand how your mind works and what you discover. You need to know what triggers you, calms you, and pushes you over the top. Occasionally, we can all be a little scared to find out things about ourselves, but if self-awareness is what you want, then you've got to go down those roads, no matter how ugly they are. Number 4, let your guard down and help. It sounds like bad advice, but it's not. Just give us a chance to explain. Have you ever noticed how defensive you are when you see something about yourself you don't like? Your instinct is protecting you. But here's what we suggest. Take the time to learn about this part of yourself rather than judge yourself or ignore this newfound information. As time goes on, you'll discover new things about yourself, even if they don't completely match up. You'll only get total self-awareness if you challenge these not-so-beautiful parts of yourself, and hey, maybe you'll even be able to smooth out some rough edges and address some of those things. Number 5, always ask for feedback. If you're having trouble learning about yourself, you can always ask others what they think. It makes the whole learning process so much easier, and it gives you the chance to discover new things about yourself too. You might find out something about yourself from an employer that you didn't even realize existed. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback from people you know well enough to have a valid opinion. Trust is crucial, so make sure you ask someone you trust. But we all know the truth about feedback. Accepting criticism can be hard, especially if it doesn't sound so nice to the ears. But it's all about hard work. In order to learn more about yourself, you need to see things from their perspective. Come on, constructive criticism isn't a personal attack. Rather, it's a valuable tool for self-development and growth. Number 6, question your values and opinions. In fact, challenging your core values and opinions can help you learn more about yourself. Often, our values are a reflection of who we really are. When we challenge them, we face up to our thoughts, opinions, and behaviors, as well as our biases. It's not about proving yourself wrong. Challenging values and opinions isn't about proving yourself right. This is just a chance to explore whether your values can change and whether you should be scared of change. And similarly, number 7, recognize your core values. Your core values shouldn't just be questioned. You should recognize them too and know why they matter to you. When things get tough, you'll know your values will give you a reason to keep trying. You'll know what you want from life when you know what your values are. You might fall into the trap of doing things that don't really benefit you if you don't know your values. And are you worried about how you can find your core values? Well, you can start by talking to your friends, or you can try something more complicated but still effective: self-reflection. Look for your values that stood strong in those moments of pure happiness or pure sadness. Number 8, know what triggers you. Even Superman can't stand kryptonite despite all of his strength, so I'm sure you understand how bad things would be for Superman if he didn't realize in time that kryptonite could trigger him and make him defenseless. Yeah, pretty bad, isn't it? If you don't recognize and find out what triggers you, your self-awareness journey can get really bad.